Hello, everyone. Welcome to our hackathon stream for the Metis Hackathon. My name is Elena Sinelnikova. I am a CEO of Metis, and I welcome you today. I also have on Zoom here, have my team as well, who will be answering the questions. So we have Leah, we have Pavel, Irina, Shida, Yaroslav, and we will have more people joining us just later on. But for now, let me just share my screen, and we're going to be going over the agenda today. So try to be very, very brief and answer your questions today. All right, so for today's agenda, so we're going to go over important announcements, then we're going to go over some Metis news. We also going to review the hackathon progress and also frequently asked questions. And after that, Pavel is going to talk about how to build migrate your Ethereum dApp on Metis one more time, very briefly again. And then after that, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So we're going to be accepting all the questions here in our Discord. So please ask us in the Discord and also in Telegram. So t.me/metis_dev. So this is, so please get ready to ask questions if you have any. And of course, we're starting from the announcements. We are hiring developers. So if you are participating in this hackathon and you would like to join our team, please send us email at contact@metis.io. We are welcoming everyone with the Solidity knowledge, and we consider all the resumes. So please send your resume to contact@metis.io. We also launching tomorrow, actually, our Andromeda release, which is our mainnet. So please join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC for our release. And this is going to be a first time, actually, we get together of all of us, not all of us, but majority of our team in the same room, because we all right now working remotely. So it will be a great chance for us to actually get all together finally after the COVID and to be in the same room. And we're going to be doing a live stream at the same time. Due to the popular demand and the requests from our hackathon participants, we are extending our hackathon deadline, submission deadline to December 30th. So 1 month, you now have 1 more month to submit your projects. Yay. It also goes well with the fact that we are launching our mainnet, and then a builder mining program becomes available. So those of you who will be applying for the builder mining program, you actually can port your dApp not only on the testnet but also on the mainnet and start getting rewards from every transaction that you make on Metis. So that's what builder mining program is for, and that's why we're extending the hackathon deadline as well. So we're still accepting the registrations at hackathon.metis.io. You also can join our dev post. So in the dev post, there is going to be submissions only, but we are accepting registration on hackathon.metis.io. And the submissions are at metis-ethereum.devpost.com. So if you already have something to submit, please go ahead and pre-submit it. So the submissions are open. You can do it, and this way we actually can contact you and help you more to increase your chances to win. Of course, just briefly about Metis. Because you're all here in this live stream and you're attending hackathon, odds are that you know all this, but it's never bad to repeat it again. So we are helping blockchain startups. We're helping hackathon projects like you. If you would like to build your company from your hack, this is what we can help you to do. And we are solving the startups' problems. For example, what blockchain to build on. So usually everyone chooses Ethereum, but because of the high gas fees, this is something that turning off the developers to other chains and such side chains. But security and undeveloped ecosystems is something that in a picture for the other chains. So we are solving that problem. So how to build, of course, blockchain developers are expensive. So therefore the startup founders, they are breaking their heads over where to find money, and also how to and where to store data, because storing data on blockchain is not a good option because if this is expensive. Also how to fund and where to find money. Of course, if you are not a developer, how to create the tokens, and well, if you are not a business person, how to get the contacts to the investors. So this is something that every startup is facing, and that's a problem we're solving as well. And of course, how to find users, customers, investors, employees. And if you would like to create your own DAO, this is something that Metis is solving for you too. Of course, this is our solution. And by the way, Metis' name came from the Greek titaness of prudence and wisdom, and here she is. Our mission to build a platform for the decentralized business on Web3, and this is a decentralized platform, and we would like to make blockchain accessible for everyone. So this is our vision. How we do it? We do it with a combination of the layer 2. So we are layer 2 optimistic rollup solution for Ethereum, and with the built-in DAO infrastructure. So, and this is something, the unique value proposition that we are offering to the startups, and how we do it, I will cover just a little bit later. But what you get from it, of course, funding from the startups via DAO. Then you can also hire people via DAO. You can manage your communities. You can grow your community. You can do the marketing via DAO. So all the possibilities that opening up for you. And also for those who are not familiar with the coding as much, the DAO is also comes very handy, because in there we implement no code, low code as well. And even being on Ethereum and using all the Ethereum ecosystem, projects connections, you pay only just a few cents for the gas, and that's what layer 2 does. Our concept of DAO is different than just the DAO as everyone know it. So usually DAO is implementing just the 3 things: voting, governance, and reputation powers. We offer so much more, and therefore we call our DAOs DACs, which is decentralized autonomous companies. There you can have a voting, governance, reputation power, of course, but also organizational rules, payroll, financing donations, HR administration, project management, communication, microservices that you can hook out, permissions, and of course the investment case. And yes, with that you can manage DAO as you would manage the company. So for to store files, to share files, to hire employees, to do the task management, payroll, and also to do the communication via the chat rooms. Layer 2 optimistic rollup that we built on, and this is the base of our solution, is actually processing transactions in the batches. Therefore, the gas fee is low. There are other optimistic rollups, and we all know and love them. So what they are, they're building on the classic optimistic rollup, where all the projects, where all the organizations are sitting basically in one chain, and transaction committed via one sequencer. This model is somewhat centralized and also has a bottleneck. So therefore we extended that model. And since also now optimistic rollups moving towards EVM equivalent from OVM 1.0 to 2.0 and becoming even more centralized, we not only, of course, complying to the EVM equivalent, where you can use now compiling using the base Solidity compiler, then all the versions of Solidity supported, all languages that out of EVMs bytecode supported, also no smart contract changes required when you, for example, port an application from Ethereum to Medius. No smart code changes required. But with OVM 2.0, this is becoming more centralized, but we choose decentralization. Metis team is very, very much sticking to the decentralization concept, and we would like to build our platform so it will be decentralized and can run without our involvement whatsoever. So what we do first, so we build the chains dynamically, inside of the optimistic rollup. And so therefore, every DAC, every decentralized autonomous company is sitting on their own chain, and transactions are committed via the pool of sequencers instead of only one sequencer. This is also our differentiator of other optimistic rollups. So it's making it more decentralized and also removing the bottleneck. And of course, there are other parts of the decentralizations that we're using in our technology. So it's sequencers, the pool of sequencers that I just talked about. Also, we're developing from next year the validators, which is the rangers, that will be validating transactions in state. And the verifiers is something that we already have, and that's the application for it closed for the fraud proofs via peer nodes. So we already have established for our first release for the Andromeda all the peer nodes that we're going to have. So this application is closed. So we are pretty much sticking to the decentralization. These are the use cases. When you work on your project, you can stick to any one of them. We have more use cases on our website if you'd like to check. And this is what we have already released. Alpha testnet, beta testnet. We also showed just the example of the gas fees on our test swap. And also we delivered polis.metis.io. Many of you, I'm sure, used already. Also the public test nets, Dragonfire and Stardust is the last one, and you probably using that a lot as well. Yes, for our Stardust public testnet, when we launched the testing, we had like 2,000 people participating in the testing. So you can look at the transaction using stardust-explore.metis.io. Yes, so it's something that we're launching. So verifier node applications already launched and closed. Andromeda is going to be released tomorrow, and then followed by a DAC staking and mining going to be launched as well, where anyone on Metis can create their own decentralized autonomous company and stake Metis tokens. So for the Andromeda release, what is going to be there tomorrow? It's, of course, the layer 2 optimistic rollup, multi-chain, multi-VM that I just described, peer nodes, EVM equivalents. Then also, of course, the Metis Explorer, something is already built, Metis Bridge to layer 1. Polis, you're all familiar with. First DAC template is going to be ready, DAC staking and mining, and also a builder mining. So builder mining, this is something, pay attention. I'm just going to be explaining it in a few minutes. What is that? And for that, we are solving so any problem blockchain startup facing, we are tackling them. Ethereum gas fees, we're making them low, we're removing the bottlenecks, we're making transactions fast. Also, we implemented the easy building. So this is something that in the works, one-click smart contract deployment and built-in IPFS storage. So we help projects with the funding. You can tokenize on Metis with just one click. Also, you get income from every transaction, which is the part of the builder mining. And also we're providing grants and investments as well. And since we already have investors and users on Metis platform, you are welcome to use all our audience. Our Metis layer 2 ecosystem is growing by day. So this one is our latest one, but now we have even more partners. So if you follow in our Twitter, Telegram, you can see we're adding the partners every day into our ecosystem. So your project can pretty much join our ecosystem as well. And to develop our ecosystem even further, we put together the Genesee DAC, so Genesee decentralized autonomous company, which consists of the investors who put together $100 million that is going to be granted into the startups that are building on Metis. So if you are in this hackathon and you are submitting your project, you pretty much can also be eligible to apply for the grant from this fund to be funded. And how to apply, go to metis.io/grants. And so we used to have a grants up to $10,000 that they were all gone. But of course, the builder mining is still open. The grants from $100 million from Genesis CDC is open, and all our partners are getting the marketing support. We are in pretty much now every part of the world, and we are providing marketing in 4 languages. And of course, we will be happy to help you as well. And now just go over Hackathon itself. Submission is extended. I already told you about that. Yeah, so now you have until December 30th to submit your project. We joined lots of hackathon partners that provided additional prizes, grants, and incentives for our hackers. So please use them. We have right now registered 600, it's over 600 now hackers from different countries. And we already have some submissions, like pre-submissions on the dev post. We also sent you a pre-submission Google form. We already have quite a few. Here I just provided one example. You can go and take a look. So this is something that we are expected. So this, for example, the game, the early access demo NFT marketplace. This is already deployed on Metis layer 2 on the Stardust. And so please go take a look. And if you have any questions, you can always ask us a question in the our Telegram and also in our Discord as well. And just go over the tasks that we have for the hackathon. Tasks are simple for you. Just build a new Ethereum dApp or port an existing Ethereum dApp. So since we are EVM equivalent, it's going to be easy peasy. So please go ahead and do that. And the tracks that we have 6 tracks. We have DeFi, Popular Web 2, Web 3, Gaming, Digital Art, and United Nations track as well. All tracks are open for the submissions. We get questions from you which track have less submissions and which track is probably have more chances for you to win. Unfortunately, we cannot answer this question for the obvious reasons. But yeah, if you feel so something that we're very, very interested in, of course, we're interested in all tracks, but we would like to have right now, if you submit any games or digital art platforms, NFT platforms, Popular Web 3, Web 2, DeFi, and United Nations, all of them are very, very valuable to us. And all of them matter. And with the builder mining and the cash prizes, we have budgeted $1 million for this hackathon. So please go ahead, build, and we will reward you. So for each track, we have cash prizes, which for first place is $25,000, for second place is $15,000, and each project can also apply for the builder mining, and of course, with the builder mining, you will be receiving more rewards for your win. And I'm going to be talking about builder mining in just a second. So how does it work? If you're just doing main prize and not the builder mining, you can build and deploy your dApp to Metis Layer 2 testnet on Stardust or mainnet Andromeda. You submit on dev post, you select applicable bounties that you would like to also apply for, and just wait to be selected as a winner by our judging panel. But if you also would like to participate in a builder mining program, so you build and deploy your dApp on Metis Layer 2 mainnet Andromeda, you submit on DevPost, selecting all applicable bounties, and please don't forget to select the builder mining option as well. So after that, so we're going to look at all the applications and we approve the ones that going to go through the builder mining. And after that, you will be required to stake Metis tokens, and then you will mine Metis tokens proportionally to your stake and your project transactions and the number of wallets that are connected to your dApp. Again, additionally to $1 million, we have bonus prizes from our partners in the hackathon. Please go ahead, look at them at our hackathon.metis.io or metis-ethereum.devpost.com. They all listed there as well. So just to mention them, it's a CryptoChicks Hatchery Award, Forever Land Deployment Rewards, Big Charity, Bug Bounty, Bagels Bonus Prize, CryptoPunk Award, S6 bonus prize, WowSwap bonus prize, Power Fan bonus prize, and IDCAP professional certification. And of course, for the rules, you submit only to one track, so select the best one that fits you. You also, of course, you have to build on Metis layer 2. It's either on testnet or mainnet, doesn't matter. You could also select any partner prices. You select builder mining if you are doing, but you have to be on mainnet for the builder mining. You also create a demo video. You give us access to the code and you submit via DevPost. So these are the basic rules. Please follow them. And the judging criteria, of course, we would like to have unicorns in our ecosystem. Then, of course, value proposition have to be very clear, super useful app. You have to solve an exact problem or maybe even a few problems. You also have to have a business model, sustainable business model. Then it has to be a working solution with no major bugs, some level of bugs accepted, but it has to work. At least it have to run and we have to see it. Then vision, your vision and the team will be judging that. So how you're going to progress beyond the hackathon, this is also going to be judged. And also social impact. If you have a social impact, this brings an additional value to your project. And just again, go over the dates. Submissions are accepted until December 30th. Our workshops are now moved to Thursdays. They used to be on Tuesdays, so they're going to be now at Thursdays. So just watch the email for that. Judging is going to be January 1 to 15 next year, and awards are on January 20th. So January 20th, so if you are planning to win, so be ready to present on January 20th. We also, if you cannot, for example, attend our closing ceremony, we accept the video from you and we can just play the video recording. So documentation. So this is something that people ask us where we find Metis documentation. Documentation can be found at the docs.metis.io. Very easy. I'm going to be showing it just later on. And the frequently asked questions. You've been asked many questions in the in the chat, so we just want to highlight a few of them here, the ones that asked frequently. How to get Metis test tokens? So you can go to docs.metis.io, just as I said. So let me just I will stop sharing the screen. Maybe I will share a screen the other way so I can switch between the screens. Just a second. Just give me 1 second. All right. Okay, so yes, so that's how you connect. So how we find the docs. You're gonna go and have on metis.io, and there's just the menu docs in here. So it takes you right into the docs and connection details, for example. So it's here, getting started with Metis. and connection details. So this is where it's described on how to connect to Metis. All right, so how to connect on Metis network. So chain ID is 588. This is a start test. And mainnet 1088 Andromeda going to be available tomorrow, but we already have a documentation for that here. So next question, how to connect to, oh, I think this is, to Metis bridge. So this is probably wrong thing in the presentation. So Metis bridge, how to connect to Metis bridge. Yes, so that is going to be also in the docs you can find, and direct guide, a user guide, Metis bridge. So in order to find it here, you go to user guide, Metis bridge. There, and this is the whole screenshots and instructions on how to do that here on Metis. Next time, do we still have to download a custom compiler? No, you don't. So Metis is EVM equivalent. So as hard hat, the waffle Ethereum can be used in projects directly. I also probably, yeah, how to get Metis tokens. So this is linked to the how to get Metis tokens, test tokens. So getting the test tokens, again, you go to get started with Metis, getting test tokens. So that is the, you can do it via faucet, or you can do it via Polis as well. So next question, do I need to create a wrapped Metis token? The answer is no. Metis is a native token on layer 2, which is ERC20 compatible, and there's no need to wrap it. Can I migrate my dApp to Medius? Of course, and that's exactly the point of the hackathon. So to migrate your dApp to Metis. Every dApp running on Ethereum can be migrated to Metis layer 2. Metis has a built-in EVM. So popular developers like developer tools like Hardhat can be used in Metis as well. Do we have a faucet? So our faucet is coming soon. However, there is a Rinkeby faucet available. So test Metis can be acquired from L1 faucet, and just that I just showed you, and transferred to Metis layer 2 over bridge. You can get test Metis from L1 and transfer token to Metis bridge. So that is the answer. How you can find documentation, metis.io. Docs I just showed you, or docs.metis.io. So now if you have any questions right now, so please get ready and ask them in Discord. So our team is going to collect them from the Discord and Telegram. And we're going to be answering them right after Pavel is going to be explaining us how to port your dApp to Metis. And of course, our frequently asked question archive is available on qaa.metis.io. Maybe you can find something there as well. So get ready, get your questions ready. So we're going to be collecting the questions now while we have Pavel on explaining how to build and deploy on Metis layer 2.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes. Excellent. Yes.
All right, so I want to do just a very quick tutorial presentation on just how to deploy, where to get the information from. Currently there is tons being worked on in terms of the documentation, tons of guides. But again, if you've ever deployed an Ethereum application or any application on Ethereum, it should be relatively straightforward. Today I'll be going over just Polis related to actually viewing Polis, what's all of the components of it, and essentially demonstrating what the use of Polis is in the form of the in the form of just a visual demonstration. So I have a separate computer just for this purpose. So here it is. You can see the screen, hopefully. So this is the Metis demo. This is a good way to just see the differences between MetaMask, between Polis, and just what exact differences there are within this application. So for this, I will give a brief overview of what this demo is. So essentially you have two sections. You have the ERC 721 and the Polis ERC 721. So currently I am on, currently I clicked that, but I am on the Rinkeby test network. So if you click on the activate MetaMask, this should switch your network to the Stardust Metis network. So once you're switched, you can go and to the ERC 721 contract, and there you will have everything populated related to both the cat and the dog. And so we're right now using MetaMask as the provider. So we see that this is indeed a cat, and these are all essentially, this is an NFT. You can transfer it to another another address, and essentially this is utilizing the Metis network from deploying and sharing all of this NFT information. If we take a look at Polis, so right now we don't see anything. That's because we're not logged into Polis. So we have to click on Metis login, and in here we essentially I'm already logged in, so it should automatically pre-fill and pre-populate. And so essentially this processes a whole lot of stuff, but essentially it's the same exact interface, just not utilizing MetaMask in this case. So we can still go and see and view, for example, this is a cat, and you know, send NFT, and of course back we go, and then this is a dog. I have to implement maybe caching within this application, but essentially you're able to see all of its information, and it's all pre-populated within the interface. So in here, this is utilizing Polis, and in order to manage and create all of these contracts, Polis is essentially an interface where you can essentially you can use it to send Metis, so you can transfer it, but you can also use it in the case of a developer. You can use it to essentially create a domain for different purposes. So in this case, we have multiple internal chains, and in the future, it will be very useful to connect. But essentially, you're able to provide your address for the contract, the ABI, and essentially use it as a user-friendly domain name in order to integrate it within your front end. So instead of copying both the address and the ABI, having that all present within the system, you can easily come and import it into Polis, and then it already has it ready to go. You're able to also specify different domains as well. So you have a contract address, you have different chains as well that you can include in order to utilize the multi-chain architecture, which will be very useful again when the DAC, or the decentralized autonomous company, functionality is present, so that you can transfer it to different chains within Metis as well. So you can essentially deploy contracts, but also deploy contracts on different chains as well. And there will be more tutorials explaining the use cases and the usefulness of all of this, but this is just the start. And another neat feature of Polis is that you're able to access any other applications that are registered through it as well. So in this case, there's a domain name called Give, and we also have essentially the different components of the token. So in this case, we have the different smart contract functions and the ABI essentially detailing what the contract, not what the contract does, but essentially the functions present within the contract. So this might be useful to, for example, sharing contracts, registering and sharing it with different people. So instead of giving them the address and ABI, you can just give them the domain instead. So that's the brief overview of that. We also have our application management. So this is when you go into application management, you're able to see all of the applications that you have registered. This is a way that you can register your application on Polis. And this essentially just makes it so that your contracts are connected to the Polis interface, allowing users to, for example, make and view transactions. So in this case, it's connected into Polis, so we're able to view all of this data, all of this information, because we've registered our application. I won't go into the code, I won't go into the nitty-gritty, and because this is everything is provided in the GitHub. So again, Meaty's demo. It'll also be available on the documentation very, very soon. But as you can see, there was something deployed here already from my address about 25 minutes ago, just to test it out. And so we have our transaction details related to that. And essentially, let's see if we can, yeah. So over here, I don't know if you can see it, if I can zoom in, but let me see if I can zoom in. No, I can't. Maybe I can. Why not? Ultra zoom in. So we have our, essentially, the asset metadata properties name. So I have deployed description, essentially saying that this is a dog, and provided an image, and this image is essentially this one in here. So if we go back to our application, we see that this is in fact on the blockchain, and this is in fact a dog right here. So we have our name, dog, description, image, all present within the interface, and we can just double check this by taking a look at this. We can copy it. No, we can't. Okay, and then we copy it. We can probably paste it. And then, yeah, so essentially this is all recorded on Metis. And yeah, so this is just a brief demo. Again, don't want to go into the code nitty gritty. This is just a very quick overview on this. Again, more in-depth tutorials will be released related to how do we use Polis in order to, I guess, use the smart contract template functionality and connect that within your interface. Soon we'll be releasing things related to deploying smart contracts directly using the Polis interface as well. So that's upcoming as well. But for now, please take a look at Meaty's demo. That's basically just a very quick overview of the application. All right, and that's my overview. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pavel. All right, so guys, you're welcome to ask questions. We have some questions in the chat already, so let us start answering them. Yeah. So we have a question. Is there an opportunity for you to unite loan developers into one team for a specific product? Is it a Solidity mainstream? Well, of course, you use Solidity here. You can use Solidity here as in Ethereum. For us to unite you, can you please send us your, so probably what you would be like to build? So then we can put the request in the Discord to our other developers if they need your qualifications. So what you can do, what your experience is, we would like to help you and to connect you to other developers. So then we will just put it in announcement chat, and we'll try to pair you up with someone or just find you a team as well. Okay, all right. There is a question about the best way to generate random numbers on Metis.
I can answer that. So currently there is a in order to generate secure random numbers, there needs to be an Oracle provider. We're currently in the process of looking for an Oracle provider on the mainnet. For generating secure random numbers, that is based on an Oracle. If you want to generate randomness, there's a lot of ways to do that, but it can be manipulated. That's I guess the basically legal people, they say, you know, this is all, you know, based on regulation and whatnot, but I guess in the programming terms, random number, especially having it being actually random, is very difficult to achieve because there's so many cases where people can actually view the randomness before it's actually generated. So you need an Oracle in order to do that. But again, more details will be provided when we have an Oracle up and running, and we're looking at having randomness applied there. But if you look, there's tons of ways to do it related to the blocks and the block generation and the hashes and whatnot. But again, those methods aren't truly random in those cases. And, you know, big computer science problem there.
All right, so there's a question about the pre-submissions. So let me just quickly share you the link to that one, and just hang on a second. I will have to get ready for that. So Pavel, you're welcome to answer other questions while
yeah, and just as a continuation for the lone developers, please join the Discord. Let yourselves be known, introduce yourselves, say hi, I have this and this experience, I have web experience, I have smart contract programming experience. If and most likely other people can complement those skills as well. So introduce yourselves to the Discord, and you'll likely find a team.
But again, if we can help you, if you just tell us who you are, so you can contact our admins on Telegram or our admins on Discord and tell them who you are, what you would like to build, and what your experience is. We can try to find you a team.
So there's a question related to storage mainnet. Currently, the IPFS storage is in the works, so the exact roadmap is going to be posted. We are currently focused on implementing the decentralized autonomous company functionality. So that is our current goal and roadmap to make sure that we deliver the baseline for the back. As soon as that's completed, we are looking at integrating the initial versions of the IPFS resolver in order to be able to store data directly using the Metis IPFS nodes. There's a question about pre-submitting the projects. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for it. So
okay.
Yes, so that.
Yeah, and so Alina will be providing the link to that. How many blocks per minute on the mainnet? So currently mainnet hasn't been released yet. So the exact metrics I can't necessarily say, but currently if you look at our current Explorer for the for the Rinkeby testnet. So that's the you can see that there are transactions being posted every so often based on the Explorer. So check out the Explorer. That's essentially the metrics present within there. Pseudo random numbers. Let's see. So I dealt with this before. Yeah, and I think you're in the Metis hackathon developer chat. I can't have a concrete answer for you right now because the only way that I know of is the way that you're proposing, is that the essentially you generate it based on the block hash. And so since our blocks are as you mentioned in there, irregular, so they won't be provided like just right at that moment. So there might be some variance. So there might be a way to do it in that case, but I can't think of one right off the top of my head. But I'll give you an answer. I'll take a look at trying to implement my own thing related to that.
Thank you, Pavel. And pre-submissions right now, so you can scan here. So we have a Google form. You can actually submit in DevPost as well. So if you go to metis-ethereum.devpost.com, you can actually submit there as well. So until the submission close, you will be able to change your submission. So no worries. But also we open just the Google Forms for the pre-submissions. For us, this is a way for us to help our hackers better. So please go ahead, pre-submit and state what help you need from our team, and we will contact you and help you with your submission as well. So please go ahead, pre-submit, and we will contact you. All right, so the way to be joined the team we just explained. Hopefully you just send message to our admin on Discord or to our admin on Telegram and with your information, and we will announce that you need a team and see who can actually let you into their team. Okay, so we have other questions as well in a moment. The judging period is January 1st to January 15th. So this is like 2 weeks that our judges will be judging the project, and we announce winners on January 20th. So January 20th is going to be the announcement of the winners. And winners, future winners, we're ready to present on that day as well. Okay, I know that we had other questions too. So,
the question, do we need to deploy the DApp on Meaty's mainnet? No, you can use the testnet in order to deploy. You can use either the testnet or the mainnet, depending on which your preference is, basically. So in those cases, yeah, use either one that you're comfortable with, because they should be, roughly speaking, very similar, and just you're using test tokens. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So the requirement is to deploy on testnet, so you can deploy on Stardust, and that's going to be enough for the hackathon results. But if you will be applying for the builder mining and you will be using builder mining, of course, your DApp has to be running on mainnet. So you might go the path that you just deploy on a testnet and then submit. But after the hackathon, if you decide also to apply for the builder mining program, you can do it after hackathon as well and deploy onto the mainnet after the hackathon. It's up to you. But of course, we will have a very limited number of the builder mining spots available. So if you would like to be one of the first ones, it will be beneficial to deploy on the mainnet. Okay, so we also have other questions. All right, so we have hackers that coming from other hackathons as well. For example, our partner hackathons. We partner with, for example, with the Eat Global hackathons, with the Babylon hackathon. So the question is related of if I'm taking part in the Metis hackathon with the different project and the Metis challenge on the different hackathon as well. If I want both, will there be any eligibility problem? No, there's no eligibility problem. If you win both, you're lucky. So I mean, yeah, so you are that good then. So please go ahead and apply. If you have a bounty on the other hackathon, you can apply to our bounty there, and you can also apply with your project here in our hackathon. Yeah, and double wins are fine. All right, so questions that received also early. Let me browse through them. What is the purpose of Polis? All right, so Polis has multiple uses, of course, and it's easy to think about it as a functionality for users and functionality for the developers. So for users, it provides the way to transfer Metis tokens and the way to interact with dApps that are registered through Polis, like, for example, Metis Bridge. And for developers, it's a tool for managing your deployed smart contracts, and also as an interface that allows you to specify the address and API, and that utilizes the REST API calls to access the methods. Also, it allows multiple smart contracts to be used within a single interface by specifying readable domains for smart contracts. So this is what Polis is for. So we created it for, so it would be easier for you to deploy the code. Do I have to use the Polis? No, you don't have to use the Polis. You can. We provided this as an option, but it's completely up to you if you use Polis or not. But though we recommend it because we think it's the better way to deploy and interact with Metis. I think these are the all questions that I have so far, and we are at the end of our live stream. Oh, all right. So there is another one.
So there's a question related to the OVM compiler. Without it.
So let's say without OVM compiler, is it transforms contract and deployment time to replace EVM opcodes to OVM?
Mm-hmm. So currently now I can't speak about the direct implementation. That needs to be one of the protocol developers. But what I can say is that since it's EVM, since we have implemented OVM 2.0 within Metis, that implementation made it so that it's EVM equivalent. So essentially the network is now can run any EVM bytecode. It doesn't have to transpile them. It doesn't have to essentially mimic EVM. It can run EVM as is. So that's the I guess the answer I guess I can provide related to the core implementation. So that's also part very closely with the OVM 2.0 description. So if you read a little bit of their documentation as well. But again, all the code, all the smart contracts are available open source directly on GitHub. So GitHub Metis protocol / MVM. I think that's where all of the smart contracts are located. So you can give it a view. We are currently right now compiling all of it into readable documentation so that you don't have to go throughout and look at the implementation line by line. So instead, yeah, we're currently working on having a readable format for all of the things. Can I deploy with Remix? Another question. So since we are EVM equivalent, yes. In this case, you are able to. You have to connect it with. MetaMask. So essentially, you'd be deploying a transaction to the specific Metis network. So yes, we'll again work on the documentation related to the Remix deployment. But yes, just in the short form, you are able to deploy with Remix. We are also working on a plugin for Remix as well. We've talked to the people there, and yeah.
All right, so we have questions. Keep coming.
Yeah.
What is the main difference between Optimism and Metis? All right, so yeah, so Optimism, one chain, we have a multi-chain. So this is like multi-chain, multi-VM, removing the bottleneck. And also allowing, and that's how we created this, the DACs, because for each chain, people can set up their own unique permissions. So, and then different types of organizations can be created. So this is how we are different, but as well, in terms of the EVM, since we moved to OVM 2.0 with EVM equivalence, so that is Optimism and other optimistic rollups, they're becoming more centralized, and this is something that we would like to avoid. So we are keeping our design decentralized, again, with the verifiers, peer nodes, with the multiple pool of sequencers, and also with a ranger system. So this is something that we also have to highlight as a differentiator.
Yeah, so we're keeping on-chain fraud proofs, whereas Optimism is integrating it within their client, which basically means that in order to use Optimism, you have to use their specific client in order to do that, which is, in that case, centralized. So that's where we're differing. And but yes, as Alina said, we do have multiple chains, and that allows us to first balance the load, but second allows us to implement our decentralized autonomous company infrastructure, which then allows for things like permissions for specific addresses and things specific to each company. So if a company needs more permissions inside of their own chain, they're able to do that as well.
We have a question, interesting. How do I become a DAO consultant, bringing adopters into ecosystem? So that, yes, of course, we right now, do we still have a ambassador program, Pavel?
Currently, we have reduced the ambassador program to specific, I guess, ambassadors. So we've greatly decreased it. But if you do have a proposal, if you do have any qualities that you can offer, feel free to message Norbert in the Telegram chat, and we can, I guess, have more discussions related to that.
We also, I remember we had the bounties for bringing in the partners, and of course, if you are bringing in DAOs, other DAOs into the platform, into other projects into the ecosystem, and they are they start building on Metis, so we have bounties for that. You can ask about it in our Telegram chat. And so we had an article on Medium about it, about the bounties. So this is still in the works. If you would like to join our team, again, talk to Norbert. So get our admins, talk to our admins, and our admins will relay message to the team. And thank you for your interest, by the way. We have only 2 minutes to go. So let me just flip through the rest of the screens that I have. So hackathon submission deadline extended to December 30th. Yay. We're hiring. Please contact us at contact@metis.io. So yeah, if you would like to become a DAO consultant, so also send us email there. Of course, and this is the hackathon. That's it, and that's the this is how to sign up for the hackathon at hackathon.metis.io. You can go there. So and now our team is asking.
There's one last question.
Yeah, one last question is asking. Like, can we have one last question? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one last question.
The question is it possible to generate a separate native token on Metis layer 2? So if you're talking about deploying an ERC20 token, yes, you're able to deploy an ERC20 token on the Metis network. And so that allows you to create that token natively.
Yes. The answer is yes. All right. So that was the last question. So thank you so much, Pavel. Thank you so much, my team here that helped us. And thank you so much, guys, for attending. We're going to be running this live stream just for the hackers, just for our hackathon every Thursday. So please, if you have any questions, if you have any ideas, what we can tell you about in this live stream, drop us a line in the chat. And our chats are, just hang on while I am there. So this is Discord and Telegram. So please get your questions there, get your ideas. If you would like us to tell you something in this live stream, to show you something, to showcase something, if you'd like your projects to be showcased, we can do that too, actually. So please write to us in these two, either to the Telegram or Discord ones, and we can do it next Thursday. And we are waiting for you tomorrow for our live stream here on YouTube channel as well, for our live stream for the Andromeda launch. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be at 3 p.m. UTC tomorrow, November 19th. With that, let me thank you one more time. Good luck, happy hacking, and have a great rest of the day.